Well, hello YouTube. It's a rainy day here in South Carolina. Go Gamecocks. As you can see, I have a gallon jug with water in it out of my faucet. Most people say don't put your faucet water in it because it's got all this and it's got all that in it. Well, your water comes out of your hot water tank. It stays in your hot water tank hot all the time. It stays at one certain temperature and it kills all the bacteria unless your water is really, really bad. So what we're going to make here today is Redneck Kool-Aid. Most people call it Redneck wine coolers around here. I'm going to take 1 cup of sugar. I've already put the water in here. You have to leave it a little bit from the top. I might put a little bit too much. Let me pour a little bit out. So I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. My wife's going to kill me because I'm making a mess. I'll clean it up before she gets home. As you can tell, I use a lot of sugar, about a 25-pound bag. Now you have to aerate it. So what I like to do is just take and shake the crap out of it. Make sure all that sugar gets melted. Check it and make sure you don't have none on the bottom. If you do, it's okay, it'll melt. I like to make a yeast starter, which you take your yeast, which is regular yeast from the supermarket, Rapid Rise. You put a teaspoon of sugar in a little bit of hot water. Now, as you can tell, it is taken off. Then you pour it in here. It's best to make a yeast starter and make sure your yeast is working. Always works better if you pour it in there with it working. I like to get every last drop. Of my yeast. I don't like for it to be that close to the top, but I don't think I'll have no blowouts on it. And if you know what this is a 2-piece airlock. I took the cap off and I took a knife and I got the tip of it hot and I cut it out just a little bit smaller than the hole so I could slide it down in it. What the airlock does is it lets the carbon monoxide out and don't let no bugs get down in there to get the sugar. Cause you know how them fruit flies are, they love that sugar. Well, it has a line on here. You fill that up to that line right there. In a few days, that airlock will start bubbling like crazy. Better start cleaning up some of my mess too. But that's the first steps of making Redneck wine coolers. All it is a sugar wash. a regular pack of yeast. Freshman's Rapid Rise Highly Active Yeast. And that's how you start it. And when it gets done in about 3 weeks, once this stops bubbling, if you ain't got one of these airlocks, you can just leave the cap loose. And after time, you can tell when it stops working. It usually takes probably 2 cups sugar about 3 weeks. I usually leave it about 3 weeks. Well, I'll get back in to you when it stops working. Thank you. Have a good day.